Breaking news. I wanted to share this social media post from Fox News stating that a U.S. fighter jet shoots down unmanned Iranian drone that was approaching USS Abraham Lincoln in Arabian Sea, U.S. Central Command spokesman says. So that is the breaking news that we are following at this hour. And I wanted to share just a little bit more information as we are learning new details. The U.S. Central Command says a U.S. Navy fighter jet shot down an Iranian drone that was approaching the aircraft carrier in the Arabian Sea. This is a post by the Associated Press sharing that information, saying that there was unclear intent. Now, in an emailed statement Tuesday, U.S. Central Command said the drone, quote, aggressively approached the aircraft carrier with unclear intent, and it continued to fly toward the ship despite de-escalatory measures taken by U.S. forces operating in international waters. The U.S. military says the shootdown also occurred within hours of another incident in which Iranian forces harassed a U.S. flagged and U.S. crewed merchant vessel that was sailing in that area. The Shahed 139 drone was shot down by an F35C fighter jet from the Lincoln, which, according to U.S. Central Command, was sailing about 500 miles from Iran's southern coast. The military statement noted that no American troops were harmed and no equipment was damaged. Then, hours later, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps forces harassed the merchant vessel Stena Imperative. That's according to the U.S. military. And according to the military statement, two boats and an Iranian drone approached the ship, quote, at high speeds and threatened to board and seize the tanker. So we did want to share the very latest as we are continuing to follow this breaking news. U.S. Central Command says a U.S. Navy fighter jet shot down an Iranian drone that was approaching the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea. In an emailed statement, U.S. Central Command said that the drone aggressively approached the aircraft carrier with unclear intent, and it continued to fly toward the ship despite de-escalatory measures taken by U.S. forces operating in international waters. The U.S. military says the shootdown also occurred within hours of another incident in which Iranian forces harassed a U.S. flagged and U.S. crewed merchant vessel that was sailing in that area. We, of course, are going to continue to follow all of the developments of this breaking news and also share reaction from top leaders as they come in. For now, though, stepping away for a break.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is with us now for our private briefing. And Caroline, we bid good Tuesday afternoon to you. I want to get into all of the machinations on Capitol Hill in just a second, but we've got some breaking news. The breaking news is that CENTCOM confirms that a U.S. F-35 fighter jet shot down an Iranian Shahed drone that was making an aggressive approach toward the USS Abraham Lincoln. This on the same day that a couple of Iranian gunboats were threatening a U.S.-flagged tanker in the Gulf of the Persian Gulf, threatening to board it. So what is going on, to the best of your knowledge? And what is the president going to do about what appear to be some threatening moves being made by Iran, even as Steve Witkoff prepares to meet with the foreign minister, Araghchi, either in Oman or Turkey on Friday?
Well, sure, John, and thank you for having me today. I did speak with folks over at the Pentagon this morning who said that CENTCOM acted both appropriately and necessarily to protect our U.S. personnel and equipment in the region. So CENTCOM did make the decision to shoot down that Iranian drone. It was unmanned. It was acting aggressively towards our USS Lincoln, which we know that aircraft carrier is in the region at the direction of President Trump. As for the president, he remains committed to always pursuing diplomacy first. But in order for diplomacy to work, of course, it takes two to tango. You need a willing partner to engage. And so that's something the president and Special Envoy Witkoff are exploring and discussing right now. Special Envoy Witkoff is set to have a conversation with the Iranians later this week. Those are still scheduled as of right now. But of course, the president has always a range of options sanctions on the table, and that includes the use of military force. They welcome to look at that today. Just look no further than the highly successful Operation Midnight Hammer, which took not just Iran, but the entire world by surprise and completely obliterated their nuclear capabilities earlier last year.
Caroline, we look forward to any follow-up on that. Meanwhile, you heard as we were leading into you this continued anti-ICE rhetoric.
Just some news, Justin, the US military has shot down an Iranian drone in the Arabian Sea. According to a US military spokesperson, the drone was shot down whilst, quote, aggressively approaching an American aircraft carrier. An American F35C stealth fighter jet shot down the drone. The US aircraft carrier about 800 kilometers up the coast as is in the region as part of a growing US military presence there. This has just been confirmed. Not that the US